Hello Guardian, I hope this video finds you well. One of my dear viewers, Smokey the Bee 090, asked me to make a guide on Featherwhite Triumph, and so here we are. If you wanna see a run example, check the link in the description to see my own run. For starters, I will make a quick summary and then I'll proceed to break down each subject. Pre-run stuff, run start, lamp to lamp, communication and extra tips. And you better stay put, cause the last bit will contain very in-depth information, even including secret stuff that people won't tell you or assume it's too obvious. But rather, many people don't know about it, and that's why most think this clear is hard. Before we get into it, I will be using some of my own and also some internet source materials. So I would like to thank some of those creators in advance, like Rusty Soros, aka Rusty or Dame, also Destiny Bulletin and Pranay. Before I give you the pre-run, let me also say that this triumph consists of beating the encounter while no one gets 10 stacks of Weight in Darkness. With that out of the way, pre-run. You should number players 1 through 6 and type the numbers in chat. Bonus points if you go into the options, social, and disable the auto hide chat feature. That way you don't need to be constantly pressing enter or whatever button on controller, and the chat is always visible. Run start. What's gonna happen is basically all 6 people will stay on starting plate, grab the chalice and start filling it up. Everyone will be constantly shooting heads, shooting waveframes, primaries, whatever you want. At a certain point, when person 2 takes the chalice, 2 and 3 will run to the lamp while the other 4 will stay on the starting plate waiting for them. 2 will dunk on the preserve spot, 3 will pick it up. They will both come back to the starting plate and meet with the other players. After that, they stand there, all together, keep passing the chalice, keep killing heads, until there are 16 seconds left on the Engulfed in Darkness debuff for the wipe. At that point, everyone will move forward, do all the procedures, light the lamp. Every time you need to light the lamp, I will just say light to make it easier. So you do it all, light the lamp, then you will skip lamp number 2 and you will go directly to lamp number 3. From that point onward, it's always a lamp to lamp situation. Lamp to lamp. Now at this point, there's no skips or other shenanigans. All the shenanigans were done at the start. Now you will just go lamp to lamp, always following the same procedure, which is having a call out for the chalice, keep juggling it. If you get a preserving spot and the current chalice holder is like 50% or higher, you should usually risk the wipe and get it full. But if rather you are below half of the chalice, you should rather just dunk it immediately and lose that extra energy. Dunking spots will be random, sometimes it can mess up the rotation, but it's fine. You just go with it. At the same time as you are juggling the chalice, you are also taking care of when to move. Usually when the lamp is turning kinda orange and 46 seconds left on the clock, like you will see in the following example. At the same time, there's always someone calling to move, and there's also someone dedicated to kind of lead the group. You should always stick to the player order 1 through 6, unless the dedicated player leading the group calls chaos, in which you forget any order and just everyone available tries to take whatever action is occurring at any given time. Then you will just follow the same procedure lamp to lamp. If you get consistent with it, aside from the lamps that have the extra step of having the preserve spot, it's always the same, lamp to lamp. Now notice that the timers will change a little bit. The lamp turning orange will not always be 46, then it's going to be some different timers throughout the run. Communication, extra tips and disclaimers. I will be fast firing a lot of information, some of which I will further explain, some of which I will just tell you to do it, and it's kind of obvious why you should. But the thing is, this is the actual juice that no one tells you, because people think it's too obvious, and even without any explanation, if you hear these tips, everything will just be so much different and make more sense. Now, let's be practical about it. Throughout the encounter, there are several floors, and there's a very known ramp in which you have this last lamp, and you go up to do the last dunking spot, which the preserve could be here or on the next one. Regardless, you do whatever preserve, go to the end. Now, on this ramp, while you are going up, after you leave the lamp in the beginning and start to go up, that's the any point where anyone could die. Even multiple people could die there, as long as you have the correct people going up and reaching the lamp, like Cherry Soldiers, Enlightened people, at least one person without anything. You are still able to beat the encounter before the fading light wipes you. There's no point also in trying to kick and invite people back, because if you kick and invite back, you still have the same time running. If you just kick them, you still have the same time running, and you could still wipe regardless, and regardless if they join back or not. But the thing is, at this lamp, you are doing the things, then you give the call to go up, and while you are going up, this is the exact moment where anyone could die or multiple people, and you will still beat the encounter in time. If anyone dies before that point, throughout the whole thing, it's a wipe. In some rare cases, there's the possibility to revive them with a Strand Hunter and many shenanigans, but it's a really skilled thing. It's also reliant on some RNG factors. It's whatever, it's a mess, just don't do it. If anyone dies, wipe. After leaving that specific lamp and going up, they can die, it's just fine. Also, at the west lamp, many people don't know about this, but when the actually west plate, when you finish the plate and open the door, then you will stop gaining stacks of darkness. So you can go back and revive people. What you should do is pre-run, already assign some people to run back and revive them, so you lose the wipe timer, and some people to just zoom and try to finish the encounter. If you see on the example in my own run, you see the light fading, right? About 30 seconds. And now you will just see it disappear, because we had a player designated to run back and revive the others, and so there's no wipe timer. Even though we had players already zooming, and we would still indeed beat the encounter before the wipe timer would wipe us, even without the rest threat. And even without skates, you could still make it without those. Before I continue with the next tips, also, again, this is not really meant for the casuals, as there are 4 separate communication callouts happening at the same time. Cherry swaps, darkness, move, who even white next lamp. For example, 1 take, 7, 8, 9, 7, blood will light next, move. Everything is happening at the same time in a fast-paced action. So if you are struggling, or people in your group are struggling, I would highly advise to get any other raid title full, and then get Crota's End raid title, because this triumph, it should be kinda easy, it's not hard, but it requires so many sub-mechanics and mechanic of the mechanic of the mechanic and coordination that it becomes hard. It's the same as many situations where it's just simple, like do this, do that, but to make it possible, you will have to get 2 people running aeons for ammo, 1 people doing this, another person doing that, and it becomes a mess to make the other thing possible. Here it's the same thing, but highly escalated and highly reliant on all the team. So if people are not agreeing to stop for 5-10 minutes and discuss the strat a little bit, and would rather take 10 or 20 hours of tries to not achieve anything, maybe you should leave that group or kindly explain, and then if they don't oblige, kick some people and join another group, make another, whatever. And people have to kind of flawless this encounter to make the triumph work. Again, in the beginning, players are numbered 1 through 6. You can even disable the chat from hiding to always see it. When players 2 and 3 move to the first lamp, to then pick up the cherries and come back to the team, everyone should be shooting ads. Everyone should be shooting ads from the start to fill up the cherries faster. And regardless, when those players move, you should be shooting even more and doing waveframes, grenades, whatever, to prevent them from dying and being body blocked. Player 3 should have the discipline to wait like about 2 seconds after player 2 goes, because otherwise they can body block each other, or if he reaches at the same time or even before, he can't grab the chalice, because there's like a delay of being put inside and being taken again. So if you give those 2 seconds of delay, the other player has already dunked it, and then when you reach the chalice spot, you can immediately grab it. You should also turn around and come through the side and come again to the spot. So player 2 goes, dunks, turns around, then player 3 is going, 2 seconds after, can immediately take and comes back. You should always speak in numbers to avoid confusion, because if you say Bob take and then I'm the next one, I don't know I'm the next one, and instead of taking 1 to 3 seconds, I will take a possible 15 seconds. Realizing that it's me, realizing where Bob is, moving to him, all of that. But if you rather say 6 taken, that was the guy before me, I know that I'm the next, so I will already be body touching that person and body guarding him, and when he says 1 take, I will immediately press the button on his face, saving a lot of time. All these extra tips and everything else before and after on this video will make it so the math adds up and the encounter is possible to beat. Because again, you start with 2+ enlightened and you reach a point where you have 0 or point something. So for the math to add up in favor and not against you, all of these tips of delays or fasten ups will count for the end goal and to make it possible. Furthermore, you should always speak about yourself in the third person. If for some reason you can't do an action, you just say your number and say something like 1 can't, 2 take. Imagine that person 6 is giving a call out, he wants me to take, he says 1 take, 1 can't, 2 take, and 2 takes it. If he also can't, he will pass to number 3. Example, 1 take, 1 can't, 2 take, 2 can't, 3 take, and guy number 3 will take it. I know this sounds kind of robotic and whatever, but these input callouts are the best for this kind of situation where this is very mechanical, so to say, and it will help you. As you first start moving, when you are about 16 seconds from wipe, player 1 should always light the lamp 1, player 3 will always light the lamp number 3 or your second spot after you skip the number 2, and player 4 will always light your third stop or lamp number 4. From then on, it's kind of whatever who lights what, but you should always call it. So as you are preparing to move and about to move, someone should say in the third person, for example, if it's me, I would say blood will light next. We move and then I light it. Someone says X will light next. We move and he lights it. About leaving, if anyone leaves, everyone should leave and call leave. You should still have one person designated to always or most of times be the one calling the leave, but it's whatever. Just know that if everyone leaves, everyone leaves. and everyone calls it, of course. About enlightenment, you should always call the stacks by 7 or higher. Never call 6, because this will interfere with the other mechanic and make people do wrong actions and wipe you. So always just 7 or higher. If anyone is 7 or higher, they say 7, 8, 9, 10. And you should hear something like 7, 8, 7, 9, 8, 10, 7, 9. You should use something like that. So if you are lighting a lamp, or anyone is doing the light, person should always light at their own 7, or at the first time they hear anyone say 7. But at the same time, if you are not the first to reach the lamp, and you are like the third one or one of the other people reaching the lamp because you got delayed or stuck on something, then just light immediately as you reach the lamp, or at your own 5 to 6. What this will achieve is that when at your 5 someone is already at 9, and this will make it so you are able to save the run and not wipe, even if there were no callouts and no one would say anything. So if you have this procedure and these triggers already in mind, you can always save the run. If everyone do these things, you can always save it. Again, at the first 7 or higher you hear or have, you white. But if you are late at your 6 or even your 5 or even just reaching the lamp, you white immediately. Well, also at the same time, people will be calling the 7 or higher, saying all the numbers. Strand Hunter is highly preferable on this encounter, although I don't even really like the quest in general, but the quest is just broken for this specific thing, and it's what I've personally used. As you have double grenade, you should have 2 navigators on the team, but if they get late, forget, or whatever happens, Hunter can just grapple and it will create a grapple point for the whole team, and you have a second grenade to keep going and alternate with the others and the navigators. Also, when you are at the end, both Titan and Hunter on Strand can ignore darkness and just run. Hunter even has like infinite grapples. So on this lamp, before going up the hill, the death hill, you can just call turn on supers, and after a couple of seconds you call leave. So you call the supers before and then call the leave. Everyone turns supers, then everyone leaves, and it's just so easy and free to go up. Now you don't need this, it's just more efficient and beneficial. Should also turn off any elemental shenanigans and objects, because people will try to take the objects but rather take the cherries and wipe, or people want to take the cherries but they can and wipe, or whatever things happen and you wipe. If rotation seems to be kinda messed, like the example I gave before, due to the RNG of the cherries, you'll just say a number, say like 1 can to take. After 1 or 2 cycles, rotation will line up, you go 1 through 6 again, and if else, you will have 1 person kind of leading the team, and that person is the only one allowed to call chaos. If things go wrong, that person will call chaos, and from there onward, you just call the actions without numbers like take, dunk, pick up, and everyone available will try to do it all together at the same time. Someone will be able to make it, all the others will keep trying again and again on the next actions. If it's not obvious, everyone should have tier 10 resilience and triple resist mods, for example concussive double arc or even 1 melee, whatever. In the first few lamps, you should risk the wipe even more aggressive, going out really close to the lamp exploding, to then be able and be in a position where you can afford not being as restrictive later on, because you want to save the run and don't risk as much, and the math will still add up to help you and you'll be able to beat the encounter. Again, there's so many stuff going at the same time, so this is not really meant for that much casual players, but you should also clear comms, because If on top of 4 different callouts and so many mechanics and sub-mechanics, you are also having random conversations, sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's not, but in panic moments, anyone should say queer comms. And if you hear queer comms, everyone should shut up, keep just saying the inputs like a computer, take, pick, dunk. If people don't oblige to all these terms or the queer comms or whatever, you don't need to be toxic, but you can kindly explain them and warn them. And after many times, especially from the same person, you reach a point where unfortunately you may have to kick and replace people or join yourself or create a new group. I don't want to be mean here, but it is what it is. This is a very specific triumph, and this is a no BS, actual facts, pure guide. I really want to help you all get the clear, okay? Callouts through the encounter should again remain simple, as like 1 take, 2 take and dunk, 3 pick up, something like that. At the very end, don't forget to swap to Unstoppable Champion Fangs. Now, the best godly tip broken. Please do not use the word take unless you actually mean it. I see many players, and not just on Featherwhite, just normal runs off the raid, even lowmans, flawlesses, and they lose the run. Because they say something like, take within 5 seconds, please, shall you? What's gonna happen realistically is that people are trying to help you, and help themselves also, and they want to actually get the clear, so they are serious about it, they are gaming. As soon as you start talking, take within, I already took it. Because again, people know the order by numbers. If you are doing everything correctly, people are already on your face, pressing the button instantly as you say take. So that's wrong, and that's your own fault for failing the run and ruining the Featherwhite or flawless whatever. What you should rather do is just shut up, don't say anything. When you are actually full, you say take, 1 take, 2 take, something like that. If you want and feel like it, you could also rather say something like 80, 90, close, getting close, meaning you are close to 100%, or get ready in a bit. But then you just say 1 take or take. Don't ever use the word take unless you are literally full and within those 10 seconds of dying. Bonus points if you could like make a Discord for the purpose, get some people you've ran with or trying to find in that server, make a group talk, put some valid inputs there for them to see them, and then when you make the actual run, everything goes smooth and you just get the clear nice and easy. I know people who've made it first try within like an hour, or people who have made more than 60 hours and still don't even get it. It's whatever, there are many experiences, but all these extra tips and all this juicy stuff that no one tells you will indeed get you the clear. With all that being said, I wish you a good one, Guardian, and take care of yourself because you are worth it.